Imagine two of the most terrifying villains, Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. One attacks in a dream, the other in reality. What happens if they meet? Who will be stronger? A maniac from other people's nightmares or a criminal with a machete? You're going to find out now. Freddy Krueger talks about being the most famous villain from Springwood. Children were constantly disappearing on Elm Street. Fear and terror reigned in the city. But the parents of these unfortunate children were able to find the culprit and take revenge on him. Freddy Krueger went to hell. There he learned how to invade children's dreams and turn them into the most terrifying nightmares. The villain fed on childhood fear and grew stronger. But gradually Freddy Krueger turned from a monster into an ordinary urban legend. Children have learned to fight it even in their dreams. The villain began to be forgotten. Then Freddy Krueger came up with a cunning plan. He found another villain in hell, Jason Voorhees, and resurrected him. The same evening, a criminal attacks one of the residents of Springwood. The woman tries to escape from him, but Jason catches up with her and attacks her. The ghost of his mother comes to him and orders his son to go to Elm Street, as there are a lot of naughty children living there. As you can imagine, this is not really Jason's mother, but the treacherous Freddy Krueger. A thunderstorm begins on Elm Street. Three girlfriends, Lori, Kia, and Gib, are relaxing and gossiping. Gib wants to go get a beer, opens the door and sees two guys in front of him. It's Trey and Blake. They're acting pretty brazen. Lori is the mistress of this house and is not at all happy about unwanted guests. Only Gib looks pleased because Trey is her new boyfriend. Blake tries to flirt with Lori, but the girl doesn't like him at all. A light starts flashing in the house. Trey and Gib go into the bedroom, and Blake goes to get a beer. In the kitchen, he notices an open door to the street. Gib takes a shower while Trey grabs another beer. He sees Jason wearing a mask, but he doesn't even have time to scream. When Gib gets out of the shower, a very creepy picture awaits her. All our heroes run out into the street in horror and notice a police car on the road. The sheriff and his deputies immediately search the house. One of them decides that Freddy Krueger did it, but the others forbid him to say this name out loud. You cannot remember this villain, otherwise he will return to childhood nightmares again. Lieutenant Stamp is talking to Lori. The girl says she's heard the name Freddy. But who is he? Lori wanders around the police station and notices some footprints on the floor. They bring her to a wall with pictures of missing children. Lori goes further and sees a girl sitting on the floor and crying. She looks like a monster and says that Freddy Krueger is coming back, and Lori has to tell everyone about it. A girl goes outside and sees girls in white dresses playing with a rope, but they are not alone here. Lori wakes up at the police station. It was just her nightmare. Meanwhile, Blake's father scolds Blake for going out with friends instead of looking after his sister. The guy notices a goat near his house, and the ghost of Freddy Krueger appears on the road. But the monster is not strong enough yet and cannot harm anyone. Soon Blake and his father are attacked by Jason. We learn that everyone who dreams of Freddy Krueger is being forcibly placed in a psychiatric hospital in Aston Hills. They take a drug to suppress dreams called Hypnosil. A guy named Will sees a report on the crime on Elm Street on TV and gets very nervous. The thing is, he knows Lori well. Will tells his friend Mark that he is worried about this girl. There are many violent patients in this psychiatric clinic. Mark pretends to be one of them, and while the paramedics calm him down, they steal their pass. Thanks to this, she and Will manage to escape. Lori returns home and communicates with her father. They live together and love each other very much. The girl is so tired that she almost falls asleep, and she begins to hallucinate. Lori decides that she can't sleep now and goes to school. The police show up at her house. The sheriff informs Lori's father that Will and Mike have escaped from a psychiatric hospital. He asks to keep this information a secret. Lori finds out that Blake and his father were attacked by an unknown criminal during the night. Police said Blake first attacked Troy and then his father. But that's not true. Charlie, the school nerd, tries to ask Lori out on a date, but she turns him down. The girls are invited to another party. Lori tells her classmates about her nightmare at the police station. Mark comes up to the girl and says he believes her. He knows Freddy Krueger well. The only way to escape from it is not to sleep at all. Will comes with Mark. Turns out he's Laurie's ex-boyfriend. The girl is very happy to see him, but suddenly loses consciousness. Laurie ends up in the hospital. She can't wake up for a long time. Kia flips through a medical journal. She is attacked by Freddy Krueger, and the girl immediately wakes up. The police arrive at the school, and Mark and Will have to run away again. They are trying to find information about Freddy Krueger in the city library, but all information about him and his crimes has been erased. The guys realize that the city has decided to forget about this monster so that it does not frighten anyone. On the same night, the students throw a big party in the cornfield. Laurie and her friends come there, and Charlie, the nerd. Soon, Will shows up for the holidays and approaches Laurie. He admits that he was forcibly detained in a psychiatric hospital for a long time. Gib wanders through the cornfield. Trey's ghost appears in front of her and invites her to come with him. The girl runs after him, and soon she is attacked by Freddy Krueger. Turns out that Gib got drunk and fell asleep in the middle of a cornfield. Now she dreams of a creepy monster. In the dream, Gib runs away from him and tries to escape, but Freddy gets closer and closer. The girl hides from the monster, but he finds her and torments her. At this moment, in the real world, Gib is attacked by Jason. Freddy is very angry because he was left without prey. Jason finds two more teenagers. One of them manages to set fire to the villain, but this does not stop him, so the guy has to run away from him. A teenager rushes through a cornfield and reaches the guys at the party, but Jason's machete catches up with him. Soon the villain himself appears. Panic begins among the students. Jason brandishes his machete, leaving no chance for anyone to escape. Will, Laurie, and Kia escape from the party along with nerd Charlie and a long-haired guy named Bill. Laurie drives everyone home and talks to Will. The guy admits that he ended up in a psychiatric hospital because he personally saw how Laurie's father attacked her mother. At that moment, Laurie's father appears by the car. He pulls his daughter out of the salon and threatens to send Will back to the hospital. A fight begins between the men. Laurie runs into the house and demands that her father show her her mother's death certificate. She also realizes that it was Dad who sent her lover to the hospital and hid it from his daughter. Laurie locks herself in her room and escapes from the house through an open window. The girl finds Will, and together they go to Mark. Meanwhile, Mark himself falls into one of Freddy Krueger's nightmares. He starts having terrible visions. Mark screams that it's just a dream and asks to be woken up, but there's no one around. When Will and Laurie arrive at Mark's place, they see that it's too late. Freddy Krueger has become strong and capable of committing crimes in his sleep again. Lieutenant Staps is sure that there is a maniac operating in the city who imitates Jason Voorhees. The sheriff scolds Staps and asks him not to interfere in this investigation. Laurie, Will, Kia, Charlie, and Bill meet and argue about what to do next. Someone is more afraid of Freddy Krueger, and someone is more afraid of Jason Voorhees. Staps joins the teenagers. He wants to help Laurie and her friends. The man says that Jason Voorhees should not be among the living, but for some reason he returned. Will is very smart, so he quickly realizes that Freddy Krueger resurrected Jason because he himself is still too weak to hunt people. Laurie falls asleep on the couch and finds herself in a Freddy Krueger nightmare. Her friends decide to tie her up for some reason. Both her father and Freddy appear in her dream. Fortunately, Will be there on time. A girl accidentally brings a piece of her dream into reality. Will says that Mark never dreamed about anything because he was taking the drug Hypnosil. Our heroes secretly infiltrate a psychiatric hospital in Aston Hills to get more of these pills. The guard notices that there are strangers in the building, but Jason Voorhees quickly deals with him. Will shows Laura patients who still have nightmares. They are in a deep coma after a large dose of Hypnosil. Bill gets nervous and takes too many illegal substances. He starts having funny hallucinations. The guy doesn't realize that he's being manipulated by Freddy Krueger. The ghosts from his nightmare ask Bill to throw away all his Hypnosil supplies. The guy resists and Freddy Krueger takes over his body. Bill still throws away the pills. Meanwhile, Staps and Charlie are attacked by Jason. The maniac kills Staps with electric current, and then pursues Lori, Will, and Kia. Freddy, in Bill's body, decides to fight Jason. He gives him a huge dose of sleeping pills, but Jason manages to use his machete. After that, the maniac falls to the floor. Freddy Krueger comes to Jason's dream in the form of his mother and scolds him for his bad behavior. He was only supposed to scare the residents of Elm Street and not arrange an endless series of crimes. Freddy wants to get rid of Jason. At first, the villain easily deals with his nightmare. But in the world of dreams, Freddy is much stronger than Jason and can torment him endlessly. But there is one problem. Jason is almost immortal. The only thing that scares him is water, because it was water that once caused his death. Our heroes decide to pull Freddy out of the dream world into reality and force him to fight Jason. To do this, they take the sleeping maniac to his home on Crystal Lake. Freddy continues to torment Jason in the dream world. He knows that this man is very afraid of drowning, so he uses a lot of water in his nightmares. Jason returns to his terrible childhood. The maniac sees a lot of creepy images from his past. Lori falls asleep to get Freddy out into the real world and save Jason. She asks Will to wake her up in 15 minutes. The girl immediately falls into a very strange dream. She is at Crystal Lake and sees that a group of guys are mocking their bald peer and calling him a freak. Freddy Krueger soon appears there. Children throw a bald boy into the water. This is Jason. Lori tries to save him, but Freddy Krueger stops her. In real life, Jason starts to choke too. Kia is forced to take off his mask and give him artificial respiration. Jason wakes up. Everyone panics and the car turns over. The maniac disappears from the world of dreams. Freddy Krueger gets very angry and starts torturing Lori. The guys can't wake her up and carry her in their arms to the camp on Crystal Lake. Lori is transported into a new nightmare. She gets to her house and finds out that it was Freddy Krueger who once attacked her mother. The maniac torments the girl. Her wounds appear in real life as well. Will tries to wake her up, but nothing works. Suddenly, Jason attacks the teenagers and throws them in all directions. Charlie and Kia are seriously injured. Will drags Lori, and her hand accidentally gets caught in the fire. Because of this, the girl wakes up, but not alone, but with Freddy Krueger. The two villains meet in the real world. A fierce battle begins, in which there can only be one winner. Both maniacs use all their superpowers, and it seems that they will fight forever. Charlie is unable to survive after being seriously injured. Freddy Krueger notices our heroes. While Will and Lori are running away, Kia distracts Freddy. Alas, Jason soon attacks the girl and leaves her no chance of escape. Freddy and Jason continue their furious fight. Freddy leaves Jason without fingers and takes his machete. When Freddy attacks Jason, Lori distracts him. Seizing the moment, Jason makes a hole in his enemy's torso. Freddy uses Jason's machete, but at the same time remains without an arm. Lori and will set fire to the pier, causing propane tanks to explode. Freddy and Jason fall into the lake. Lori and will think that this is the end and embrace. However, Freddy makes his way to them along the dock and is going to use Jason's machetes. The second maniac attacks him. Lori grabs Jason's blade and takes revenge on Freddy Krueger for her mother and her friends. Both villains fall off the dock. It looks like it's definitely over now. Lori throws Jason's blade into the water and leaves with Will. The next morning, Jason comes out of the water with his blade and Freddy's head.